You just accepted a new job. Exciting, right? But there's something sitting in your old company's 401k plan. Maybe $20,000, maybe $200,000. And now you've got a decision that could cost you thousands if you get it wrong. When you leave a job, your 401k balance is yours. That money is vested. It belongs to you. But the account itself is tied to your old employer's plan. So you've typically got 4 options. Leave it where it is. Roll it into an IRA. Move it to your new employer's 401k. Or cash it out. Each path has different rules, costs, and consequences. Option 1. Do nothing. If your balance is above $5,000, most plans let you keep the account right where it is. Your investments stay invested. You still pay the same fees. The downside? You can't contribute anymore, and you've got one more account to track. Some people choose this route if they really like their old plan's investment options, or if they're planning to retire soon and want to access the money before age 59.5 without penalties. Here's something important. If your balance is less than $5,000, your old employer might force you out. Between $1,000 and $5,000, they can roll it into an IRA automatically. Under $1,000, they might just cut you a check. This happens to roughly 2.8 million accounts every year. So if you're in this range, expect to hear from your plan administrator. Option 2, roll it into an IRA. This is what many people do. You open an individual retirement account at a brokerage, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, wherever. Then you request a direct rollover. Direct means the money goes straight from your old 401k to your new IRA. Never touches your hands. No taxes. No penalties. The benefit? You typically get way more investment choices, lower fees, one account to manage. The catch? You lose some legal protections 401ks have against creditors, depending on your state. Here's how this looks in practice. Sarah has $42,000 in her old 401k. She opens a rollover IRA at Fidelity, fills out one form with her old plan administrator. 2 weeks later, the money appears in her IRA. Now she can invest in individual stocks, bonds, low-cost index funds, whatever she wants. And when she's 75, she's only got one required minimum distribution to calculate instead of tracking multiple old 401k accounts. Critical warning: if you do an indirect rollover where they send you a check, they're required to withhold 20% for taxes. So on a $50,000 account, you'd get $40,000. You then have 60 days to deposit the full $50,000 into your IRA, using your own money to cover that $10,000 gap. Miss the deadline? That missing amount counts as a taxable distribution, plus a 10% penalty if you're under 59.5. Option 3, roll it into your new employer's 401k. If your new job offers a 401k and accepts incoming rollovers, not all do. You can consolidate everything in one place. Benefits? Simpler management. All your retirement money in one spot. You might get access to institutional funds with lower expenses than retail IRAs, and you keep those strong creditor protections. The trade-off? You're limited to whatever investments your new plan offers. And if you leave that job too, you're back to square one. Take Marcus. He's changed jobs 3 times in 8 years. Each time, he rolled his old 401k into his new company's plan. Now, he's got $115,000 in his current 401k instead of 4 separate accounts with different logins, statements, and fee structures. When he updates his beneficiaries or rebalances his portfolio, he does it once. Simple. Though he does miss having access to certain Vanguard funds his second employer offered. Option 4, cash it out. This is usually the worst choice, but people do it, especially with smaller balances. Here's what happens. You request a full distribution. Your plan administrator withholds 20% for federal taxes automatically. Depending on your state, they might withhold state taxes too. Come tax time, that whole amount gets added to your income. If you're in the 22% tax bracket, you're paying 22% federal plus state taxes, plus a 10% early withdrawal penalty if you're under 59.5. A $20,000 cash out could cost you $7,000 or more in taxes and penalties. Here's the real damage. That $20,000 cashed out today, if you're 35 and it had stayed invested, earning a 7% average annual return until you're 65, it would have grown to about $152,000. You didn't just lose $7,000 to taxes and penalties. You lost 30 years of compound growth. This is why financial experts almost universally suggest avoiding the cash-out option unless you're facing genuine financial emergency. A few special cases to know about. Company stock in your 401k might qualify for special tax treatment through something called net unrealized appreciation. If you have a 401k loan, you typically need to pay it back within 60 days of leaving, or it becomes a taxable distribution. And if you're between 55 and 59.5 when you leave your job, keeping money in that specific 401k might let you access it penalty-free under the rule of 55. So, which option makes sense? It depends. Consider your new employer's plan quality. Look at investment options and fees. Think about how many accounts you want to manage. Your age matters, especially if you're close to retirement. The size of your balance matters, and your overall financial situation. Some people split the difference. Roll part to an IRA for flexibility, and part to their new 401k for simplicity. There's no universal right answer. The key is making an intentional choice instead of just letting it sit forgotten. Everything covered here is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Every situation is different. Consider speaking with a licensed financial advisor before making any major money decisions.